Hello, my friends. It's Andy over at the Facebook Live TV show and Strategic Marketing Today, which it says right there, strategicmarketingtoday.com. You're going to want to go there at some point, probably after the show. Ooh, I'm going to get possibly a little bit of an echo. If you're hearing an echo, let me know. I have a couple things set up. What I'm going to do is show you my studio setup, and I'm just going to go through some of the things here. You can see this is a wider view. This is coming from my phone. I'll tell you how I'm doing that. And then this is coming from my computer, which is on my desktop, and I'm going to share why I'm going to be telling you all about that. So let's go ahead and come back to this shot right here. And so I'm going to be going through some of the things. I'm going to go kind of a higher level, not highest level, because I don't have the equipment of, say, a news studio or something like that. But I do have everything from a mid-range down to just using your phone. All right, and what it is you're going to want to do. And I'm going to share some of my equipment. I'm going to share you how I'm doing some of the things I'm doing, and just kind of give you an overview of what it is that I do with my Facebook Lives. Hey, Aubrey, nice to see you. Just make sure, can you tell me whether the sound is okay? Because I can hear myself coming out of my phone over there, and I just want to make sure that it sounds okay. So why am I doing this show? Well, it really is clear to me that during this pandemic that we're going through, and being, hey, Navi, and going through, being told to stay home and not go anywhere, that people are going to start obviously doing probably more Facebook Lives. We see artists doing it. A friend of mine, Karen Waldrop, she is a singer, songwriter, country artist out of Nashville, Tennessee. I just saw her on Fox News, and she's giving concerts. Oh, great. Thank you, Aubrey. She's giving concerts and doing those through Facebook Live. And why are you doing this show? Hey, because I'm telling you right now. And so she's doing Facebook Live. I believe that a lot of really cool things are going to come out of this situation that we're in. People are going to start writing books that they've been wanting to write. People are going to start developing online training programs that they've been wanting to do. They're going to begin live broadcasting. They're going to begin using new tools and applications like this one right here, which is called StreamYard. And if you want to, and I would suggest you get it, that you can use it for free as you're getting to know. Wrong one. Hold on. There it is. Get StreamYard.live. So StreamYard is the platform I'm using right now. This being able to go live to you. I'm broadcasting on several different Facebook pages. I'm broadcasting on YouTube and Twitter and Twitch. And so I'm able to do that through StreamYard. Only one tool to do all that. It wasn't just maybe a year ago that I needed 2 or 3 tools to be able to go live on all of those platforms or all of those social media platforms. You can also go live in LinkedIn if you have the ability to do that. LinkedIn's kind of funky right now. Only certain people can go live. I've tried to go get my live permission, but I haven't gotten it yet. But StreamYard allows you to do that. So go to getStreamYard.live to get the platform that I'm using right now. All right. So I'm going to show you a little bit of what it is I'm doing and how I'm doing it, so that you can decide what equipment that it is that you need. So let's go ahead, and I'm just going to go ahead. Oops, took it down. I'm going to go ahead and go to my phone over here at first. Now I can see myself over on this camera. So I have my phone on a tripod. I'm gonna bring it over to this other camera so that you can see the setup that I have. And obviously, simply put, am I cutting my head off? Maybe not. Simply put, let me use this lighting here too. So I want to show you, this is one of the forms of lighting that I have. This is obviously called a ring light. I'm going to talk to you a little bit about that. This lighting is something that you may need to, it's very portable. It all folds up. This, is very easy to use, and you can adjust how bright that you want it and how dim you want it. And you can even change it from that bluer light to the yellowish light, depending on what your lighting situation is. All right, so if I go ahead and now put this over here, you see how it's going to improve my lighting situation than from what it was before. So you can do something like this. You have a phone on a tripod. You can have the lighting that you carry around, or you can use what I'm using to hold my phone right now, which has holders on top for something like this, where this just slides in, and this is also lighting, and you can just put it on there. They have them, all kinds of different things that you can use to put lighting for your phone if you're going to choose to go live on your phone. So StreamYard, just to tell you a little bit about StreamYard, StreamYard only goes live the origination of the Facebook Live, YouTube Live, Twitter, which is Periscope, or LinkedIn, has to originate from a computer. All right, if you're going to use StreamYard. But if you're going to go live on Instagram or Facebook, you can use your phone just to go live, but you're not going to use StreamYard to do that. Now, a guest who comes onto my show, and I've originated it from my computer like I did right now. This is my laptop right here. They can be as a guest on a phone. So that's how I'm able to use my phone as a third camera on this particular setup. All right, so understand that. If you're going to use StreamYard, it's got to originate from a computer, a laptop, or a desktop. And a guest, if you have a guest, can join you on a phone. They're Gage and Dan, who are the founders of StreamYard, they're talking about having a possibility of doing it from a phone. It just hasn't, they just don't have it yet, all right? Because there's so many tools that you can use, which I'm not going to really get into all the tools right now, but the tools are best used on a computer because you have to click on things and get them to come up and that kind of stuff. And so on a phone, it would be a little bit more difficult and clunky. So they're figuring out what the phone app would have available, and so they're working all that out, and so it's just taking some time before they have the ability to start a Facebook Live using StreamYard on a phone application. They just don't have it yet. All right, so this is the phone setup and the lighting that you may need. So this lighting is Neewer. Yes, this is Neewer. If you went to Amazon and you typed in Neewer, this is a Neewer lighting. I have 3 of them that I use when I just need lighting from the front. And I'm going to come back over to this thing, this view over here, and tell you that I have lighting down here that shines up on this board to give me a little bit lighting. So because what can happen is you can have lighting from up front here. I'm not sure why I'm getting, oh, I know why, because it's from that light over there. I'm going to talk about these reflections too that you don't want to have. All right, so I'm going to come back to that. But that's coming from the light that's over there by my phone that I turned on. So if you have, sometimes you can have lighting on your face right in front of you, like this ring light, and it'll cause shadows behind you. If you don't want to have those shadows, you need to have backlighting so that the backlighting comes up and takes out any shadows that might be there. So if you're going to use something that you want people to see, like a banner, I'm going to go ahead and turn this light off over here. Hold on. Because I want to do my best not to give you bad examples. It's like my children. You can still see part of it on there. I just turned it sideways, but it's still showing through. And you see that ring light. You can see it on the picture. So what you can do on pictures like this is actually take off the glass. I just haven't done that yet, and I haven't really needed to because my head generally blocks the ring light reflection that you don't want on there. All right. So again, back to the backlighting. So you may need some backlighting if you're going to use a green screen. Quite often you're going to need backlighting like this one down here. I'll just pull it up so you can see it. So I have one of these and it's just lower and it shines up and gives lighting to the background here so that it kind of stands out. I don't always have it on. If you've seen any of my Facebook Lives, I don't always have it on. It just really depends if I have something written on the board that I want you to see. And for me, it really causes those letters to pop out a little bit more when I have that proper lighting in the background. But it kind of gives you a good balance. I normally don't wear a hat either, which causes a shadow on my face too. You see that? That's because I have a light above me too. So lighting is really important. The other thing that's important, and I want to make sure and get this out before I forget, and that is sound. I've watched a couple of interviews on Fox News, and I've seen other people on Facebook Live and YouTube Live where their sound is horrible. Try not to use the sound just from your the mic from your computer. That's built into your computer. It sounds so distancy, or it sounds like you're in a bathroom. Same thing with a phone sometimes. If you don't have an option, then you don't have an option. But try to use some type of microphone setup. I'm not using this mic right now. I've hacked into this microphone source and put a wireless mic. Again, this can get a little bit more complicated. I'm trying to keep it a little mid-range to a bit low end, but have some. It doesn't need to be one of these Rode mics. Let me go ahead and come to this other computer over here. I'm just going to change shots. I'm going to go ahead and get rid of this lower third really quick and get rid of my name at the bottom. I'll look at some of your comments in just 1 second to see if you have any questions. So if I come over to this desk over here, this is what I use quite often when I'm teaching because it's a bigger computer. And I can, I'll show it to you in just 1 second. So the mic on this computer is actually muted. It has to be muted or else you'll get feedback. Oh, I can see some of the comments now. I'm just seeing all the people that are on right now. And so on this computer, I have what's called a, oops, I got stuck. This is called a Audiotech USB mic, right? And it has a little windsock on there. It doesn't need to have the windsock. It's just so that keeps you from, if you're talking and you pop, it'll kind of protect the person's ears who's watching you. But this is the mic that I use on here. It too is muted so that it's not going to cause any feedback or anything like that. All right. So I have that mic. I use that mic for, creating, not StreamYard, but hold on, what's it called? ScreenFlow. For ScreenFlow, I use it to record on, shoot, I can't think of any of the platforms I'm using. iMovie. This mic is a fantastic mic. This connects directly to your USB. Wow, I don't know. I don't know if I just had a stroke or what, but but the Rode mic adds a really good professional sound that really sounds good. All right, so you just want to make sure that you have a good microphone. It just kind of is strange, especially one of my friends, Karen Waldrop, she was just being interviewed. She's a country singer out in Nashville on Fox, and she's using the mic from her computer. And for me, I go, gosh, her whole life is sound. Why isn't she just use one of the mics that she uses and put it in her computer? Because now she has that sound distance, and it's just like, it's one of my pet peeves. You need a good mic. My mic right now may sound a little tinny because I didn't adjust the volume control, so it may sound a little loud. I'm not sure. Let me know if it sounds loud. A Blue Yeti is a great mic. I used the Blue Yeti for years. I like the. Let me go ahead and come back to this other computer. I'm popping around all over the place. Let me go ahead and pop back over to that one there. There we go. And so this Rode mic here is just a really professional looking mic. I really like the look of it. You can take this this pop screen off if you want to, so you just see the mic. I like to have the pop screen. It's usually for singers. I don't sing, but this is called a pop screen, and it keeps you from, again, when you pop your P's, that you're not blowing all that air directly onto the mic. It stops that from happening and keeps you from popping your P's and making it really obnoxious for people to listen to you. I have what is a wireless mic setup. I'm not sure, and it won't reach. Hold on. So I have a Sennheiser wireless mic, and I plugged in using the 3-pin plug into what is normally plugged. This Rode mic is plugged into. So let me give you a little bit of a price difference between these different mics. So you can have actually a mic that plugs directly into your phone. You could probably get something for 29 bucks. That is a wired mic that you clip on your lapel, a lapel mic, and it's probably about 10 feet of line somewhere in there, and then you can have great sound. People won't watch a video that has bad sound. Video needs to have better sound than almost video. So the video can actually be kind of crappy, but if the sound, and people will still watch as long as the sound is good. If the sound is bad and the video is fantastic, they'll turn off, because the sound is just something that people get irritated by and will click off all the time. Now, I saw all those comments and I didn't read hardly any of them. So let me come over here and let me just get through some of these, and I'll go through some of the other things that I think are important for you to know. All right. Hey, Becky, I see you also messaged me privately. Let's see. I'm going to look at that just to see if there's something. But I have a few questions for you. I am working with a client on a big event for April 1st. I don't know if I'm supposed to be reading this out loud. Sorry. I will come back and listen. Oh, okay. I gotcha. Becky. Yeah. Ask me any questions you might later on. The sound is great. You obviously have a lot of time on your hands without the kids. Oh, yeah. Today I don't have the kids. I don't have the kids until Tuesday. It's going to be crazy. It's so quiet around here. And I only have to feed myself, which is so very cool. 9 months time, there will be a baby boom. You might be right. Not in this house. I already had the baby boom before this thing. I am so itching to do a live stream. I am thinking I want to do one tonight. Yeah. Let's. If I'm around, I think I should be. My daughter and I are going to go do. I know we're not supposed to do that. I shouldn't be saying this live, but I'm going to go pick up my daughter, and she needs to go do some shopping. She's 25, lives in an apartment, and Dad needs to help out sometimes. So I'm not completely free of my kids. My 25-year-old needs me, and her and I are going to go make sure that she has what she needs to be, you know, in her home. I don't know why I got choked up there for a second. I love my daughter, by the way. And so we're going to be going and do that. Okay. Whew. What did that happen? I've been banning for the itch because I am beginning to get jealous seeing him go live 100 times per day. Not 100 times per day. I'm trying to share some information here. All right. So that you know, watch April go live. Good. Oh, this is in my garage. Yeah, I got out of the garage. The garage studio is still set up. I just don't use it hardly at all. Hey, Jim, nice to see you. Oh, very, very good. All right. Any funny yet informative sidekick? That would be me, I guess. No questions yet. These are just all comments. Well, see there. Okay, KK. We don't. All right, I'm going to look for questions. All the tools we got from Mike. Yeah, I got many of those tools from Mike. The ring light is from Mike Koenigs. He's a marketing expert. He's the guy that taught me how to do many of the things to get me started. And then I've kind of gone beyond what he's taught me and gone a little bit further. But the ring light, the newer lights that I showed you, those are all I got from Mike during Publish and Profit, where I helped coach people to write their books and become #1 bestsellers. And Jim Butts was there along with me and got the very same gifts. All right. So, I'm not funny. I'm being very serious right now. Okay, hold on. Let's get to this one. So I use a blue Yeti mic and love it. The only reason I got it was because the one built into the Logitech C920 wore out and started becoming really distorted, and Andy's ears would bleed. Yeah. So I can't. Maybe I can show you. I'll show you in just one second. Oh, you know what? I'll get it out in just one second. All right. So doesn't know that. Sounds great. Hey, Robin's on. Robin, I didn't see Robin comment, or you must have seen him when he came on. Oh, there he is. Hey, Abby, what's up, my friend? Awesome. All right, these are just all comments. Still waiting for that Yeti. You promised me. I'm supposed to give you a Yeti? Me? I don't think so. Am I? I'm not sure. All right. So the camera that I'm using on this particular setup is a Brio Logitech 5K webcam. Over there is a 920. So the 920. So I'll show you the difference over there. Let me go back over to that other spot right now. Oh, is that the right one? Yes. So yeah. So this is the Brio. I don't know if you've seen it or not, but to go on the cheap end, if you just plug in the $49, $59 920 Logitech webcam, and what I've done, and I'm going to actually switch over to this camera so maybe you can see, is it right here? Do you see what I'm touching right here? It's actually a desk lamp. It's a desk lamp that I'm pointing towards the white blinds that are behind the computer, bouncing the light off, which is not, you've seen people hold up what are those things called? Like the screens. Maybe Jim Butts knows what it is, or somebody else knows what it is. But it's usually a circle or a square, and it looks like tin foil. And they're holding up, and they're bouncing light off, and it spreads the light. It softens the light and spreads it out. That's kind of what I'm doing, and I've done this a lot with like white cards that I'll get at Staples, and I'll bounce light off of a white cardboard piece of paper, of cardboard, and use that soft lighting to now bounce off, as opposed to direct lighting. Watch what happens when I point this directly at me, and see how much harsher it is. So I can have that harsh look, but that causes shadows. And if I point it at the blinds, which is the white blinds, you see how it's softer. It doesn't make me look any better. However, it gives more of a balanced light, because it's bouncing off of the blinds and now spreading out and is softer, not as harsh on this face. You don't want anything harsher than what's already on my face. I don't know what it's called. Oh, come on, Jim. It's probably called a light bouncer or something. Somebody Google it. Oh, diffuse. Yes, diffuse. Thank you, Facebook user, whoever that is. I can't give you credit because you did a diffuser. Thank you. Did I say? I don't know that I did diffuse, but it softens it and makes it look a little bit better on your face if you're not going to read them. I worked hard at being funny. All right. So a Logitech 920 over here, a Brio, which is in the ring light. Right, so it's on. The ring light comes with a tripod that screws into the top of that. That one's, I think, probably twice as much. The Brio 5K webcam, which I like over there. And over here is my phone, like I said before. So over here I have my phone. All right, so let me just go through a couple things. So I'm gonna bring my phone. Trying not to clap on anything, and try to show you. So this is the box where normally this is the Rode mic 3-pin that normally plugs in here. What I've done is I plugged in my receiver for the Sennheiser microphone. You're probably now getting an echo because I'm so close to my phone. And now now the wireless part of it, which allows me to walk around, is on my side here on my belt. So I've done that. Here is the ring light, and here is the Brio and what it looks like. So this is the Brio 5K camera. It just screws right onto the top of the ring light mount right there. And then coming over here is the Logitech, which plugs in via USB right into this computer. And on top is the 920 Logitech camera. 49 bucks, 59 bucks. You get it on Amazon right now. And again, there's my desk lamp, which is bouncing off of the blinds to give the soft light. Now the Stream Deck, I'm hoping StreamYard will make it so that you can actually play sounds by pushing these buttons. And hopefully soon we'll be able to use that Stream Deck and show you how all that works. All right. So there is that. All right. Oops. I'm going to show you a couple different ways to mount your phone. Let's see if you can do it. So this is one mount that I really like. I like this mount. The only problem is you have to get a different size. I had to get a different size when my phone got bigger. And then I got the bigger phone, which was the iPhone 10. And then I got the iPhone 11, which is smaller. And I had to get a different one of these because they only open up so wide and go down to a certain size. All right, let me switch over to this camera. I hope this is interesting and I'm not losing people because of it. Oops, hold on. And so this is what I was talking about. This is holding this camera, which is my phone, and up on top is where you can put the lighting on one, and then the microphone for the transmitter, or no, the receiver that I can plug into my phone too. I can use that same receiver and plug that into my phone using one of these dongles here, and it converts it, into the iRig so that it'll plug into my phone. All right, so there's that. So I have 3 different kinds. Oh, I have one more. Hold on. Oop, I forgot to switch over. Let me switch over here. Hope nobody's getting dizzy or seasick. Here we go. I'm going to come over. What did I do with it? I went and got it, I thought. Hold on. Oh, man. I went and got it. I must not have brought it in. All right. So this is for an iPad. So this, screws right into a tripod using this thing right here, this part, right? So it plugs in, it screws in an iPad or a tripod and holds your iPod. Or iPad, sorry, iPad. And sometimes I use the iPad for a, oh my gosh, what's it called? When you read the words. Yeah, the words come down, newscasters use it all the time. What is that called? Somebody write it in, and I'll state what that is. All right. Oh my gosh, I haven't been drinking, I promise. All right, so what is that? Teleprompter, thank you. I do this for a living. And what's great is that same, I think it's called Teleprompter, I think is what I use. It's on my phone, I look at it, but maybe I'll put it in the comments. What's so awesome is that you don't need anybody to move it. What happens in the app that I have, as you're talking, it moves. It recognizes the words you're saying. And you can then, if you're on script talking, and then all of a sudden you say, oh, by the way, I want to tell you about my day yesterday, it'll stop moving. And then if you go back to the last word that you read and start talking again, it'll start moving again. And so I don't know if any of you that are on my personal page, I did a reading from a portion of C.S. Lewis, and that was on the teleprompter, which was on my phone. And it starts at the very top, right near where your camera is. And so as you're reading the words, your eyes are directly into the camera. So as long as you're reading fairly well, people won't even know that you're reading a teleprompter because you're looking right at the camera where the words are. It's so cool. And the same thing goes for the iPad. So yeah, the iPad, and especially when you're further away, it's easier to see the words when you're on your iPad. And so it's a great, and I'll put it in there. If I'd like to find free virtual teleprompter. Yeah, it's not free, but it's a pro version, but it's not that expensive. I think it's 99 bucks or something like that. But it is fantastic. It's a great teleprompter. Very, very trained. And beware, this man is a professional. Yeah, no. Sorry. Yeah, he's only going to halfway read that, right? No worries, though. I find you hilarious. Okay. Yeah, he's not hilarious. Don't give him. He's going to get a big head, like the big cakes. I have Teleprompter Plus. I don't think it's. It might be. I'll find it and I'll put it in the comments. Okay. So one more thing I wanted to show you, and I'm gonna. Let me go ahead and this is for those of you that are authors. I'm gonna go ahead and put this light here and turn it up a little bit. I want to show you something about books, and I'm gonna switch back over here. Well, I'm getting exhausted. Am I out of breath? Do I sound like I'm out of breath? All right, here we go. All right, something that I noticed on televisions is that when you have authors on television and they're showing your book, you will get this glare. There we go with the glare. Let me find it. Shoot, I can't get it to. So quite often when the host holds it up, they block your name with the glare that's on the thing. And then you see them trying to struggle to make it so that it can be seen, right? The way to stop that is by having the cover of your book be a matte finish, not a shiny finish. So you can see my Falco Walking with God and a Dog is a shiny finish. This is a matte finish because I learned my lesson. So when I go on television or I do Facebook Lives or wherever I'm at, you can see no matter how I hold it, you can see that glare doesn't affect it because it's a matte finish cover. So that's a really important thing to remember if you're an author and you're going to be going on television or doing Facebook Lives and you have lighting, that this is what the difference is. So make sure you get a matte finish. That's my recommendation. Some people prefer the shiny. Sorry about that. The other thing that you want to do, especially when you're interviewing somebody, or even when I'm not interviewing somebody, I have a place to write notes. So make sure that you have some type of journal or something, to write in, so that when you are, and you can do it, so you're not tapping and typing on the computer. I used to try to type into the Notes app on my computer, but it can get noisy because you're so close to your mic and that kind of stuff. And so you can just have something to write that maybe as they're talking, you can take notes. I can write without having to look down at the paper. Most people can, right? I'm not special. I wasn't trying to insinuate that I was special. But I can write something like April, teacher or something like that, and it'll remind me that I need to ask them, that comment she made about a teacher, right? And so I can write that down. The reason being is because things can flow so quickly, and some people get really long-winded, and I didn't say that because I was talking about April. It's more because I saw Robin Phillips on here, is that they will start, and then you have to kind of cut in at some point, because you have to keep your show moving. And so you want to make sure that some people don't drone on, and people will. They don't mean to. I drone on. Listen, I'm the king of droning. And so when it's your show, you have to make sure and keep the flow going, but also you want to make sure and have good follow-up questions from time to time. And quite often people may not realize this, but I'm sometimes writing down a comment that I want to remember. And sometimes you just need a word, right? A word to remember what it is you need to ask them about. And make sure you have some notes. Someplace to write notes so that you can come back to whatever you're talking about. Other thing that I do, even when I don't have a guest, is I'll be talking and I'll see a comment and I want to make sure and write something about comment from Nobby or something like that, and write that down here. And I'm actually doing it as I'm doing it. And then as I've been talking, I can, I forget the name of teleprompter, and I use it all the time. And so you're going to want to be able to go back to your notes to remember, I was going to talk about that comment that Nobby made. And I'll have it here, comment about from Nobby, and then I'll go back. I was going to ask about that, or go back to that comment that he put on there. And you're going to want to talk about that. And so make sure you have some notes. Really important. It's something that I don't think a lot of people keep in mind when they're doing Facebook Lives or YouTube Lives, or whatever it is they're doing, to have something to write on to make sure and remind them. So again, get StreamYard.live is the URL you're going to want to use. Again, you can use it for free for a period of time and then begin to get all this stuff. One of my suggestions also that I always want to make sure and give is that don't worry about in the beginning getting like a Rode mic or a Yeti or something like that. Just get a simple USB mic, connect it to your computer, or get one that connects to your phone, and just go live and start talking. You don't need to worry about all these other tools, the ring lights and all that kind of stuff. It's best to just get going. Get over the fact that now you're talking to a phone and you're trying to keep people engaged, and you're trying to worry about your message and worrying about, you know, the lower thirds you're going to use and the comments and all the other stuff, right? You don't want to get too bogged down with all the tech when you're just getting started. Just go live. And if you don't like it, you could delete it. If you don't want anybody to see in the beginning, you can go private on your video before you begin to go public with your video. But just get used to talking to the camera, get used to looking at the camera, right? I had down here is my image and are the comments. And you don't want to get stuck with your face down all the time, right? Looking at all this stuff and then trying to talk the whole time to your computer, because people want to see you looking at them and responding to them. And so there's nothing wrong with every so often looking down at a comment and bringing it up. I wish StreamYard would implement a built-in teleprompter. That would be awesome, by the way. And now that would be a game changer. It absolutely would be to have that on there. But the problem is now you're going to have to bring the computer up just below the, just knocked something down, just below the screen, so that I see if I'm looking at your message down here, my eyes are down, and that's only the thing. So they'll have to kind of, you'll have to deal with that just a little bit and figure out what you're going to do. Sometimes if I have a lot of information on my computer that I want to look at, I prop my computer up a little bit so that I'm not looking so much down, especially if I have a hat on. Right? You don't want to be always looking down at your computer. You want to be able to engage the audience with your eyes and looking at the camera. But yes, that would be great if they could implement that. Just pay the renewal on StreamYard and haven't even used it yet. Come on, Nobby, get on and just start using it. Start talking, start sharing your message. You got a great message about finances and how people can improve on their finances. Get on there and just start talking. Go 10 minutes, right? I go on way too long, right? I didn't intend already to be 32 minutes on this discussion of showing you all the different stuff that you can do with StreamYard and the tips and little tricks that I have. All right, so I talked about notes. I talked about how I'm doing the wireless remote walking around type of thing. I'm using a wireless mic, Sennheiser mic, which is a great mic, by the way. It may be a little hot right now, so I'm sorry if it is a little hot and going a little bit strong on the volume. I apologize. Yeah, oh my gosh, you and April Nobby would be a great team. You guys should try that out once or twice and just see how it works out for you guys. I'm using StreamYard, so get StreamYard.live is where you want to go to get the URL to start using it. I talked about the light on my desk lamp bouncing off of the white things. I talked about shiny versus matte. Talked about the tripods I use, the phone holders that I use. I'm trying to make sure that I did cover all the bases. Here's a portable lamp that you can get that works fantastic. This is LED, by the way. LED is a really good light. The holder for the iPad, and the iPad, when I use it, it goes right underneath where it's just out of view, like right there. And so that's where my iPad goes if I'm using that as a teleprompter. Thank you, Aubrey, for telling me what that was. I appreciate that. And backlighting for your background to make sure that it's well lit and not covered in shadow so people can see what's going on. Watch out for reflections on your whiteboard especially. Really got to be careful about that reflection in your whiteboard, because if you're trying to teach on a whiteboard and your lighting is covering up the words, people are going to get frustrated and leave your broadcast. So make sure that your lighting is aimed in a direction. Or you can put like even you could put even a tennis ball underneath, or prop it up so that your whiteboard is tilted. Or you could have it on a stand and have it so that it's tilted this way diagonally, so that if the light's hitting it, is that the reflection is being seen over here, you know, over in this direction. And so you can set up your whiteboard so that it's angled, so that if the light is going to hit it, it's not going to show into the camera. When it's flat against the wall and you have lighting in front of it, then you're more likely to get this reflection like I see here, and people aren't going to be able to see what's on the word. So set up your lighting, set up your whiteboard, set up your pictures if you have them, so that you're not getting reflection. Because again, it's just, you want to look professional. You want to make sure that you're not covering up. You want something the people, the audience, to see, and it just doesn't become, and it becomes an irritant. Make sure that your sound is good, because sound is more important than video even on a Facebook Live or a recorded video. Sound is more important than the video itself. Make sure you have good sound, and make sure you look at the camera when you're doing that. Make sure that you're not sitting in front of light so that you look like you're in the witness protection program. Make sure, oops, I'm a little low, by the way. I forgot that, oh, I had to fix my chair and I didn't reel it back up. Hold on, I'm going to show you where you actually should be in relationship to, sorry, I'm spinning the seat there. There we go. So you actually should be maybe a little bit higher. An apple should be able to sit on your head from the top to where your head is. And so that spacing should be about an apple. That is why when I showed this comment right here, where is it? It was a big one. When I showed this one earlier, my chin was down and I wasn't even paying attention. So that when you bring up a large comment from somebody, that it doesn't block part of your face and you're talking like this. You really should be up a little bit closer to the top than in the middle, with the top of your head, that is. All right, so that is it. April, anything that you think I should add that I haven't added? Anything you disagree with, please feel free to let me know that too. I'm going through, make sure I didn't miss any comments here, going through some of them. Interesting. Oh, good. I'm glad. Thank you. No echo. Good. It's so funny because I can hear my voice coming from my phone over there. All right. So again, back to this image here. So we got the ring light here. It's only so far away. You can see I'm only about 4 feet, maybe 3.5 feet from the camera and the ring light. Oh, this table that I got here. This table, it has a crank, so it can go up and down. I got this at Home Depot. It's a Husky table. It was only like $50 or something like that. It's got a nice hard top to it, and it's on wheels, so I can roll it around. I love it. It allows me to have all my props on here and my books if I need to hold them up and that kind of stuff. It holds a lot of stuff, and it's so versatile, and it looks really cool. If I have to show my desk, it's a really nice wood finish on the top and looks really cool. Again, Home Depot. It's awesome. It was a great steal. Let me actually, I was just going to show you my desk over there actually is a motorized desk. It actually is a stand-up desk, and so it goes up. Actually, I'll show you here really quick. Oops. So it rises. If you haven't gotten one of these, I would recommend that you get one, because there's many days where I will stand almost more often than I actually sit and do my stuff. So if I come over here now and switch the things, I can stand up and do a Facebook Live. I on occasion have done that, and I can lower it down so that it's right where it should be. And again, you want to make sure and have that Apple space so that when you're talking, oh, I know what I can tell you. One last thing. These things keep popping up here, and I don't see that I have it. Shoot, where is it? Hold on. I'm looking for an app here. Make sure when you get the Logitech that you get the Logitech camera settings. Oh, you know what? If I do it, it's going to freeze my camera. That's another little thing that I got to tell you about really quick. So Logitech has an app that you're going to get. So they don't really tell you that in the directions. It may now, but it used to not do that. But you get the Logitech camera, which I'm using right here. You're going to download the app from the App Store for the Logitech camera settings, and it will allow you to move in and out, and that as far as the focus or the how close you are to the camera. Actually, you know what? I think I can do it on this one. And let me come back. Sorry, popping around here. This was obviously I just started the Facebook Live because I wanted to share with you what I was doing. So I'm going to share my screen here. The application. Let me see if I can bring it up. There it is. So I'm going to share this. So this is the app itself right here. See this app? And it allows you to zoom in, right, and zoom out. And then most importantly, in the advanced settings, you turn off autofocus. Right down. Oh, the lower third is blocking it. Hold on. Get rid of the banner. There we go. So, oops, sorry about that. Well, you couldn't see what I just did. All right. So down here, do you see where my mouse is, where it says autofocus? You want to turn that off. If you saw when I was at the other camera, which I'll go back and show you, it causes, if you move away from the camera, it causes you to go out of focus for a second, and it keeps adjusting. That too is irritating to people that are watching. So let me go ahead and stop sharing my screen. And let me go, ooh, look at that. Let me go back to this thing over here. And you'll watch as I get closer. Do you see how it's adjusting? And if I move back, well, now it's not going to do it. Oh man, I just made a liar out of myself. It's usually, of course, it's more exaggerated when I don't want it to be, but when I'm trying to make it move back and forth, it actually is not doing it now. But it actually will take you out of focus. So take off autofocus so that you don't have any changes from the lighting and the adjustments of the focus and that kind of stuff. Again, can be irritating to people when it's happening. All right, let me come back over. Let me come back over here. All right. So that's it. So again, this is an iPhone camera here, and you want to make sure. Oh, one last thing. I know that I constantly thinking these little things before you start any Facebook Live using your phone, or sometimes even the cameras. If your kids have been around them, you want to make sure and use a soft cloth and clean off the lenses. Your forward-facing camera and your back-facing camera's lenses. You want to make sure and clean those off before any Facebook Live. People always forget this, and you'll see people that are at the beach or they're trying to take this really cool looking video, and there's like a thumb smudge right on the camera, and it causes it to be hazy, and it just looks bad. All right, and so you when you're doing a Facebook Live, you want to try your best to have your video look good. Like I said, sound is more important than the video, but you do want the video to look good, and you want to make sure and clean off those lenses before you go live, because a thumbprint, although you can barely see it on your side, it is huge when you have one of the loops or something that are on your thumbprint right in the middle of the lens. And when lighting hits that, it causes it to be distorted and kind of makes your video fuzzy. All right, so both sides, you want to do that before a Facebook Live. Always both sides, because quite often you don't know necessarily that you're going to not go from your forward-facing camera to your back-facing camera to show somebody something. So you don't want to be there at the last minute using your shirt to try to clean off those lenses. You want to do it all ahead of time, making sure you're set up for success before you get started with your Facebook Live. And I guess I can give you one more. What I do before I go on a Facebook Live on my phone is I type the title and the description in notes first. And I try to, not always do I do that, but I try to type it in notes first. I look it over to make sure I spelled the words right. Even with that, I still get it wrong. But you want to make sure all your words are spelled right, and look good, and read it a couple times to make sure that it makes sense. Because again, I'm talking for me mostly. Most of my sentences don't make sense the first time I type them. I got to read them and then fix them and then adjust them. So type them out in notes first. It's just easier to type in notes and have it all ready to go, especially if it's going to be lengthy. And then I copy and paste in the Facebook post before I go live. For me, it works a little bit easier and allows me to review it and look at it a couple times before I actually use it as a Facebook post. Because of course, then you have to go back and edit it. But then people are seeing it before they decide to watch you or not. People decide sometimes based on the title whether they're going to watch your video. They want to know that the message is going to be something that they want to take the time to click on and listen to. So just take a little extra time, do it in notes, and make sure that you go over it and look at it to make sure that it's something people are going to be interested in. I do sometimes use clickbait is what they call it. Use something kind of provocative. Provocative, that will catch their attention, like, oh, he's gonna, I'm doing the Facebook Live with no pants on or something like that, right? And people go, wait a minute, and most people wouldn't stop, but Nobby would stop and say, oh, I want to see that, and he would click on it based on that title. So understand that a title can be very, very important to build your audience, to get people interested both on the live version and the replay version, and make sure that you have something in there that grabs somebody's attention. Don't just put on there going live. Or some people don't put titles at all. They just go live, which is fine. Some people like Mari Smith. If you see Mari Smith's face, quite often you just want to stop and listen to what she has to say, because usually it's gold and you know that. If it was Tony Robbins You probably stop and listen to it if he was going live just because it's him. Gary Vaynerchuk, somebody like that. But in most cases, a lot of people don't know us or who we are. So we want to make sure the title is going to grab their attention as they're scrolling through during the pandemic and they're sitting on their couch, going through Instagram and TikTok and Facebook and Pinterest and all that kind of stuff, that something is going to grab them. And if you're not Tony Robbins or you're not, Lady Gaga, most people aren't necessarily going to stop just because it's you. Again, unless you're April or something like that. So make sure that title is good. All right. Hope this has been helpful to you. I'm going to come back over here because I'm going to push a button that ends this in one of my videos. Again, strategic marketing. Oh my gosh, I keep doing the same thing over and over again. Hold on. Let's see if I can get in the middle here. Strategicmarketingtoday.com is where you're going to go because I'm going to teach you a lot more stuff. Like I'm teaching you today. Videos are already created. They're already, I think there's probably about 30 or 40 videos in strategicmarketingtoday.com. It'll also get into the private group. It's included. I'll be doing some training later on this evening in that group on how to use some of the hacks that I have for creating graphics for your Facebook banner, to lower thirds, to frames, how to get your logo on there. Sometimes you'll see I have a picture that covers up half of the screen and I'm on the other half, and I'm able to talk about the bullet points around that. I'm going to show you how I do that, and I use a tool that's completely free and very versatile that allows you to do a lot of different things. So I'll be sharing that in the private group. All right, I'm going to look at this last few comments here. I'd pick Andy over Tony. Nabi. Let's see here. Facebook, no shoes on. Yeah, I don't have shoes on. I'm in my house. Don't you take your shoes off in Australia? Hey, Joey, nice to see you. Just hopping on. Did you literally hop when you came on? That would have been funny to see. Let's see. Tried to find an app yesterday. I think it is because you have Brio. Oh, Brio. I'm glad you brought that up because I had to actually text support at Logitech to get the app for the Brio. So if you have a Brio and you're not finding it in the App Store, the settings, and what happens is, I didn't finish my story over there, is that you have to start the app first before you start your go to your StreamYard dashboard to turn on your camera. If you do it the other way around, if you go to StreamYard and select Brio as your camera and then go to the app and start it, your picture freezes and you have to reboot StreamYard. I don't know why it does that. I have not been able to figure it out, and so far I've not gotten an answer out of Logitech or StreamYard why that happens. It doesn't happen with the 920 though. With the 920, you can go on the StreamYard, you can select the camera that you're going to use and the mic you're going to use, and then go into the dashboard and then turn on the camera settings, and everything goes perfectly fine. And you're able to zoom in and zoom out and white balance and all the things you're going to do. But in the Brio, to get the app, number one, I had to go to Logitech support, and they sent me an email with the link to get it. They may have fixed that by now. This was, I don't know, 4 or 5 months ago, maybe 6 months ago. I'm not sure when they came out with the Brio, but I got it like the next day after they launched it. And the app, they had to send me the link for the app. And then you have to have the app up first, the settings first, before you start up StreamYard and select the Brio as your camera. If you don't, not a big deal. You just got to reboot StreamYard, refresh it, and when you come back on, then everything will work just fine. Whew. I hope that made sense. Tim. Oh, the 920 app's no longer available. Oh, interesting. Hey, Kayla. Kalia, right? Kalia. Nice to see you. And I text you all the time. We need to do another show. I've been wanting to do a show with you. Thanks for this. Since I'm late today, hopefully you'll post the replay. It'll as soon as I end it, the replay will be available. It's gone on a little bit longer than I intended, 48 minutes, but I've shown you all kinds of stuff. A little mid-range information about the tools that I use, and then all the way to just using your phone. Just go live on your phone to start with. Go live, and then add these tools. Add a mic, add some lighting, add a ring light, add a Brio, add a Logitech 920, whatever it is, or a Rode mic that I have here, whatever that is, and then begin to build and go bigger. As long as you are going to go big, why not? So StreamYard, let me go back to StreamYard here really quick. So the first thing is you need to have StreamYard. It is the best platform. I've used Zoom, I've used BeLive, and I like BeLive, but StreamYard is better. I've used Switcher Studio Pro. I've used Ecamm. I could go on. Blue Jeans. I've used them all. I've used Blab. I've used Meerkat. I've used Periscope. All of the applications. StreamYard right now is the best, and they continue to be the best because they continue to improve on the application. They use their own dedicated server, so they're not using your resources. And even with bad internet, your stream will still be good. It may look bad on your side. I've had that happen where on my side it looks a little hazy, but the people are seeing a really good stream where they're at. That happens all the time. The sound tends to be good because they're using their own dedicated server. So StreamYard, as far as I know, are the only ones that do that. Everybody else is using your resources to run the Facebook Live. And if you have an old computer, your internet is lagging, the next door neighbor is using the internet when you're using your internet, it'll cause your stream not to be very good, and you'll have more syncing problems. I may have some syncing problems right now because I got 3 different cameras working on at the same time using the same internet connection, and I'm connected using a wireless mic. So you may see a delay, but the delay is not as great as if I was using one of the other platforms. It would be a huge difference between my mouth moving and you hearing the sound. Also understand that it also is affected by your internet stream, whatever you're using. If you're using just mobile connection, or you're using a weak stream, if you're like at Starbucks or something like that, a weak stream sounds like you need Flomax or something. Sorry. Oh my gosh, I make myself laugh. As long as I'm laughing, who really cares? All right. Kaylee. I'm sorry. I wasn't recognizing it was you, Dr. Botwell. I thought it was somebody else, and it caught me off guard because I've never seen you on one of my streams before, other than when I was interviewing you. So I'm sorry, Dr. Botwell, which is a lot easier now for me to say than it used to be. Let's see. The hazy might be from the CBD. It could be. You never know. All right, I'm just going to go through a couple of these aside. I checked on the 920s yesterday, and they are upwards of 3. What happened? Are they, well, really? Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe they're 249 or something like that. They're used to. I don't know, but they're not that expensive. I mean, comparatively to having to get like a real big camera. I was going to talk about DSLR and all that kind of stuff. Don't bother. It's too complicated. Hey, Carissa, nice you for joining me. I missed that you joined. I got sidetracked by Dr. Botwell over there. Dr. Botwell, by the way, Carissa is a fantastic interview. She's hard to get on camera, but she uses CBD in her practice of pain management and has had great success over the years. And she's a fantastic person in St. Louis, Missouri, just a fantastic person. So I'm hoping that I'm going to get Dr. Botwell on another interview so you can hear what she has to say about how she has used CBD and other stuff that she does in her practice. No, I just checked it out. Oh, okay, cool. I'm looking through to see if there's anything that I missed. I love to see Bruce on here. Thank you, Bruce, for joining. I appreciate it very much. I'm using it now. It works great. Awesome. The best camera is the one in your pocket. Absolutely. I mean, the camera over there, this one right over. Oops. Hey, I've been doing this I've done it like 10 times. That camera right over there, which is my phone, is fantastic. It's you can see the picture even at this distance is great. It's been going this whole time. Oh, make sure you go to airplane mode. Have if they're on Wi-Fi, if your guest is on Wi-Fi, make sure that they go to airplane mode so that when somebody calls, it doesn't knock them off the broadcast. It's best if they are connected to an internet source, a Wi-Fi source, and turn their phone onto airplane mode, because even when you block your calls, block callers, if they're in your favorites list, or they call somebody with the same phone number calls more than either once or twice, I forget what it is. If they call like a third time, it'll bypass the block that you put on. Do not disturb is what it's called. If you have do not disturb on, people in your favorites will still get through, and if somebody calls more than once, they'll get through. So if you truly want not to be disturbed from a phone call on your phone and you're a guest, turn your phone into airplane mode as long as you are connected to Wi-Fi. All right, make sure that happens. But what's coming from over there is my phone. And how I did that is I shared the link that you would share when you're inviting somebody else. So I invited myself. I put it on Notes. I went to my phone, open Notes, because of Notes is synced, obviously, from your computers and your phone. The link to join as a guest was on Notes. I clicked on it. I connected my phone using the link that you would share with a guest in StreamYard. StreamYard is so flexible and so user-friendly. It's easy as pie. And I know that I was going to say easy as cake, but Nabi gets excited when I talk about cake. All right. 2 times. Trying to figure out what that is, that comment. Hey, Kristin. Oh my gosh. Let me talk about Kristin real quick. I'm so happy you're on. If you need a brand makeover, if you need a brand, maybe you don't even have one to make over, Kristin is the person to see. She's worked with the top people in the business, keynote speakers, motivational speakers, people that have created online training programs, some of the big ones. I'm not going to name them. I'll let, if she wants to, she can do that. But you would recognize the names as people that have infomercials on TV. She's worked with the biggest people on the planet. She's a friend of mine. If you need somebody, look at that beautiful face. I love that picture, by the way, Kristin. That's so awesome. I'm going to use that as my screensaver. But she is amazing. She's created, I don't have it here. Why don't I have one of my books here? Oh, I know what I can show you. She created the logo for, and I hope that's okay that I share this. But that logo there, she created just like the snap. I needed it, and she came up with the font and the logo and everything about it. That Kristin designed that and created that for me, and the color scheme for my brand, which also can be seen here. So this is my entire brand using the colors that Kristin decided to use in the logo, and that is just one way that that's being used. Kristin is amazing. You find it also on my banner for my personal page. Thank you, Kristin. I'm so glad you're on. It's so fantastic. So get a hold of her. She's amazing. Dr. Botwell, you definitely, if you need anybody, you probably don't need help with your brand, but if you do, Kristin is the person to call. She is amazing. I know. We are side by side. What? I don't know. It's oh, sorry. I'm reading it here, and she did my brand. Oh. I forgot you know, Kristin. So sorry, I'm so stupid. So good, but yes, she is amazing. That's so stupid. I think that's one of the most helpful things you can share. Oh, fantastic. Oh yeah, she's amazing. Kristin is amazing. Incredible. Another person that you need to follow is Carissa. Carissa, every picture that Carissa takes with her family, and sometimes she just takes a picture of her family, like their birthday. You really got to see it. I don't know if she's taking any more friends or if it just simply being a friend of mine is enough. But I swear that when I'm scrolling and one of Carissa's pictures is on a post, I stop for a second thinking that it's an ad, like a JCPenney's ad, or more like a Nordstrom's ad, or who else is out there? What's another big one? Core. What's that? The KOR. What is that brand? That's a huge, expensive brand. I think it's like it's from their catalog. Just a simple picture of her and her kids or something. Her and her husband and her kids doing something. It looks like it's amazing. Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm not even on camera. I'm losing it. I've been on way too long. All right, I'm going to come back to this camera here. All right. So it's great people. Nabi's great. Everybody's great. I mean, if I didn't mention your name, I'm so sorry. I started naming all these people, and I apologize. When you start doing that, you do get into danger. That's the other thing. Be careful when you start naming people because you're going to forget somebody that's just as amazing as Carissa and Kristin and Nabi, all these people. And I'm sorry, there's a lot of people that have been on this today. But be careful. Be careful about beginning to name people because you're going to forget one or two people, and it does hurt feelings. I promise. And so just be careful about doing that if you don't want to get in trouble. It happens all the time. Yes, Dr. Botwell is the best. You talk about his audio resources like microphone. Yes, I did. All right. Very good. I could go on forever because some of my best friends, my favorite people on the planet are here. Jim Butts. I'm looking to make sure I didn't forget anybody. Aubrey was on here. Thank you, Aubrey, for watching. Bruce, amazing. A guy with just book writing resource, just amazing. An amazing man. Just so he's a politician now. Oh, my daughter is getting a hold of me. I told my daughter I was going to be over at her house in an hour and a half ago. But I've been on with you guys. She's 25. She's in an apartment. Dad still needs to come in and get her. We're going to go someplace and make sure she's set up for being sequestered in her house with her roommates and that kind of stuff. So I'm going to go take her. Kristin got to meet my daughter not too long ago, and it's so awesome. I love to connect people like that, especially my daughter with great people. And, Robin Phillips. Oh shoot, I almost forgot Robin Phillips too. But he would have never let me forget. See, that's why you don't get started, because if I would have forgot Robin, he never would have let me forget. Hey, you thanked all those people and told them how wonderful are, and you didn't even say anything about me. Robin, you're fantastic, and I love you, man. I love your wife more, but I think you're fantastic. All right. So that's it. I know I forgot somebody. I am so sorry. There are a lot of people on here. Joy is on here, and all the rest that are on. April Roga, of course, she's on here. I got to talk about her a lot. All right. So we're going to sign off. It's been so fun talking to y'all, seeing y'all on here. Dr. Botwell, I need to do an interview with you. I need to find out what you're doing. I need to talk to you, see what's happening, and catch up. There's a lot of people on here I need to catch up with. And in April, we need to get on, and you and Nabi need to get on a Facebook Live too. All right. That's it. We'll talk to you later. Take care. Bye. I'm back. Bye.